Hello my little dudes, and today I'm going to be totally revamping Mandy's character from the book I Am Not Starfire. Some of y'all are already reading into the comments, running, screaming, racing, chasing, and just, it's probably gonna be a thunderstorm down there. But like, if you guys haven't read or heard about the comic I Am Not Starfire, it's basically this book written by DC Comics about the daughter of Starfire, who is, not anything like Starfire. And a lot of people were upset with her original character because she doesn't look anything like her mom. She's overweight, she's really, really pasty, and her hair is black. Well, it's later, revealed she dyed her hair black for, to not be like her mom, because she's not like her mom. She's not like other girls. And my problem really isn't with those things, how she doesn't look anything like her mom, and the SJWs take me over and stuff like that. It's the fact that girl's character is just so annoying. Even if she started doing CrossFit and lost weight and got super slim thick or whatever, and even if her hair wasn't dyed black, and even if she wasn't an emo, I still probably wouldn't like her character, because it's so girls she really thinks her life is the worst.
Oh my gosh, everybody hates me and nobody likes me, and I hate everyone who goes to my school because apparently I've had a personal interaction with everyone who goes to my school.
And it's annoying in the real world and it's annoying in this book. The one thing that I actually like about this character is that she has a pet bird. That's the one thing. The one thing I like about this character is she has a cute pet bird. Can't remember his name, but he's adorable. And she treats him, she doesn't abuse the pet. She's not that bad. She's still annoying as nuts though. And so I just kind of wanted to give her not only change the way that her character looks, because I'm kind of irritated by how she looked. Because okay, we don't know who her dad is. It's established in the comics that she doesn't know who her dad is, and Starfire doesn't like to talk about it. But I think it's pretty clearly gonna be Nightwing. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Nightwing. Okay, I think it's pretty clear. You're not fooling anybody. I saw that clip of them at the end where Starfire was standing by Nightwing and they were looking at Mandy. Come on, that's his kid. Okay, so I think that human DNA, Tamaranian DNA. I'm just pissed because it seemed like the Tamaranian DNA just fizzled off without a fight. And I'm are you kidding me? The Tamaranians are strong, capable. You think that fast metabolism and the super strength and all that's just gonna be and she's gonna come out all pasty? Bruh, no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And so, yeah, I just tried to make her look a little bit more like her mom, because the fact that she looked absolutely nothing like her mom, and this is a race that can shoot laser beams out of their freaking face, but they can't get a dominant allele in there. Are you kidding me? No, we're fixing that immediately. So that's one of the first things that irritated me about this. The second thing is just back to the self-pitying. It's just this idea that she's seen her mom fight a bunch of superheroes and aliens and supervillains and all these things, and she thinks that her mom doesn't have it difficult. I cannot believe that I do not believe that Starfire would raise such an ungrateful little brat. This girl is really
oh my gosh, high school is so difficult. I'm working with my crush and I can't even talk to my crush. I'd so rather be my mom right now, as her mom's in the middle of space, blasting aliens, and I'm why are you acting like your mom's job is easy? Why are you acting like your mom's just sitting around looking pretty and that's her job? Homeschooled's been in fights, she's taken a punch. What is this? It was just so, it was just, no, it was not it at all how ungrateful this girl was. I don't think Starfire would stand for that. Starfire is nice and sweet, but she ain't a pushover. You can't do that. You can't diss her whole, you can't say she does nothing and is just there, because she really just treats her mom like she's some pretty object. And the way that the comic characterizes Starfire is just as this pretty bimbo with really crappy taste in guys. And I'm who is this? I thought this wasn't the Marvel universe. What's this scroll doing dressed up as Starfire? Because this ain't Starfire. What the frick? They literally just made her oh man, are you okay, Mandy?
Mandy, clearly emotional. Nah, mom, I'm fine.
And then Starfire's oh, okay.
Starfire is a lot of things. Kind, compassionate, confident, sweet. Dumb ain't one of them. Dumb ain't one of them. So, yeah, I was definitely, changing that. And I realized that characterization of Starfire so clearly impact the characterization of Mandy. Because it's like, if Starfire was how she actually was, you know, kind, confident, literally has an emo friend with daddy issues, and then she has a kid who turns out to be emo with daddy issues, I feel like if she was like the real actual Starfire, she'd be like, you know, trying to fix it, going to counseling, you know, with her kid, talking to her kid about it, you know, trying to make her feel better, instead of like going on a date with some F-boy looking dude named Doug. Like, what? So yeah, in this new Mandy universe, instead of I'm not Starfire, it's gonna be I wanna be Starfire, okay? Yep, we're building it up, we're changing things, because, you know, I think I can do better than a whole team of people. Just kidding, no I can't, but I think I can still make a more likable character, because what the nuts? Anyways, we're starting off. I definitely think that in this version, Mandy has a much better relationship with her mom, and, cause like in this one she's so distant, and like it's literally just them, kind of against the world, and I feel like that would have been a much more interesting characterization instead of like the I'm not other girls. I think it would have been more interesting to see Mandy like become confident in her abilities, because it's much more likable when instead of a snob gets superpowers, it's this like anxious, like a little bit awkward girl who like wants a validation from not only her mom but others, thinking she does just as good as her mom, kicking her aunt's butt. Like that, we love like a moron, like somebody who's like awkward, cinnamon rolly, but then turns out to be a motherfucking powerhouse. Oh, I love that type of character so much. So that's what I'm turning Mandy into. And I feel like it still would have been, because the comic had a bunch of these concepts that I think were interesting, like how kids made comments about her and her mom, like that person being like, oh yeah, your mom's hot, I like her boobs, and then stuff like that. I feel like that would have been interesting towards like characterizing what Mandy's about and stuff like that. So like I feel like Mandy would compare herself to her mom a lot. Like she'd see her mom as like a role model, like an icon, like somebody that she really wants to be, because instead of being a freaking bimbo like the comic makes her in I'm Not Starfire, she sees her as what Starfire is, like a confident, strong woman who looks absolutely great in the color purple and swimsuits and stuff. And I feel like that's what Mandy would want to like try and be. So I feel like she'd be so upset that her powers aren't working, and like she'd try and do different things to activate them, like, you know, she'd try working out, she'd try, you know, pumping up her adrenaline. I feel like she'd want to try and be like her mom, but then there's this realization that she doesn't have to be her mom, she doesn't have to be like Kid Starfire or like Little Spark or something like that. She just has to be Mandy, you know, she just has to be herself. And I feel like that would speak to a lot of people feel like they have to work up to the standard of like, you know, surpassing their parents, or like, you know, bringing honor to the family, especially with immigrant parents, because, you know, like your parents worked their like from the bottom up, now they're here in America living life, and then there's you, and it's like, what am I supposed to do, move to Canada and start the same thing? We're just gonna do a whole thing of... So I feel like that would have been interesting to see. I would have liked that, you know, just see a character who's like trying to work between living up to the expectations that nobody else puts on herself but herself. And I feel like that could speak to a lot of Gen Z people who put expectations on themselves, and then, you know, they get totally freaked out because they put expectations on themselves that like literally nobody but Einstein could surpass. And then, you know, it totally hurts their self-esteem because we're in a performance-based society. Haha. So yeah, I think that would have been way more interesting to do. Another thing, we're changing the best friend. We're changing the best friend, okay, because what the frick was that best friend? Like, why'd they have to make him an anarchist for like no reason? No reason. They didn't have to do that at all. So yeah, I would have changed that a little bit. And then like, yeah, I'm definitely changing that. And I think we would have changed her like outfit, because I find it very cliche that like, oh, my mom's girly, but I'm a goth. Can't you see that I'm the one who understands you? Like Taylor Swift, you belong with me kind of thing, where it's like, oh man, I'm not like other girls, point. And it's very annoying. No diss to Taylor Swift though, I actually like that song. But like, you know, that kind of like, you belong with me. It's just Mandy kind of being like, I'm not like other girls, like, I'm an emo, let's say it's emo, so you don't understand how hard life is for me, I don't want to take the SATs, and it's like, bruh, so annoying. But yeah, we're changing that. I decided to, you know, give her like a different fit, And I just wanted to change the outfit because I think it would have looked cute. Because, you know, I think Mandy would have looked nice in green. I hate the fact that they gave her green as like her power color though. Because when I first read the comic, I was like, wait, why is Starfire pink? Like, she has green energy beams. And I was so confused at like why they made hers pink. And then I saw Mandy and then she got green. And I was like, what the frick is this? Get your own thing, Mandy. And I feel like this was very much like an author kind of, because I feel like we gotta address the elephant in the room. The author kind of looking a little bit like Mandy. Like, this kind of, I'm not making any claims, like, not for any slander or anything, but like, they do look a little bit similar, especially when, spoiler, Mandy gets her hair cut off in the end by like an energy beam. So like, she cuts her hair, and she kind of looks a little bit like the characters, like a little bit like the author, you know, like just a little bit, just a smidge. So we're keeping the bobbed hair because it's cute. We just love bobbed hair. So I think that like once Mandy realizes who she wants to be, like she'd have long hair, like really long hair because her mom has really long hair, but then she'd cut it. Cause you know, she's her own freaking person, period. But yeah, I still gave Mandy like an emo redraw for this because we love emos. You'll see that at like the very end. I made her clothes more dark and I gave her like a little bit of a change because like I feel like Mandy being an emo wasn't the worst thing, but like the whole I'm not like other girls part of it was annoying. But yeah, I just tried to make her more different from the author, the way that she looked there, because they looked a little bit similar, you know. So I just changed that characterization and pretty much, yeah, that's it. Those are the things I would have changed. I would have changed the way Starfire acts. I would have changed the way Mandy acts personality-wise. And then cause like, what the frick? Oh, she was so annoying. She was so self-deprecating. I would have made her more of a cinnamon roll who wants to be like her mom, but then eventually grows into her own person instead of her completely, you know, isolating herself from her mom and being a douche because of it. So, yeah, those are just some of the things that I would have changed. Also, I want to see her hang out with the Teen Titans more. I want them to be like a second family. I want her to talk to Raven when she has her daddy issue, like, emo phase. I want that to happen. I need that. I need a Starfire and Mandy hanging out with Nightwing and Beast Boy and Cyborg. We need that. I need that. That's for me. That's a random thing, but it's for me. I want to see that so bad. But yeah, anyways, that's the whole video. If you like the way that I revamped Mandy, pick a like, comment, you know, do whatever you want. Tell me how you thought about, like, what your thoughts on the book were if you read it. And if you didn't, probably watch a review or two, maybe check it out a little bit if it seems interesting to you, the concept of Starfire having a daughter. But yeah, toodles my doodles, I will see you in the next video.